mediocre, like just like
Hi,
mediocre.
we're back.
We're back.
Episode 8. When do you stop saying the episodes? That's what I want to
You
know.
know, I feel like you've set a precedent now that you never stop saying it.
Episode 8 or is it episode 9?
Now I don't know. I thought it was eight, but I don't know.
It's you. It's episode 8. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess, as we get higher, it's going to get harder and harder to keep track, but we'll just start making up numbers then.
Episode 72.
Episode 476 in progress.
We
So,
should do an episode. Hold on, I have an idea. We should do an episode that is like, you remember how Grey's Anatomy would do those weird episodes where it's like
a musical.
a mule, please no, please no. No,
Today's
but
episode of Mediocre will be in song.
yes. No, like they always did like a specialty episode. So for our specialty episode, we would dress up like we're grannies. Like it's 40 years in the future. And
Okay.
where are we then?
Okay, cute. I like it. I like
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down. I mean, listen, tell me what costume to wear? We like to keep things interesting, which is why I figured I'd ask you today if you wanted to start by talking about one, how you almost set someone's pants on fire, or two, how all of our questions had Penny Reid answering that she'd just die. Which one would you like to talk about first?
Oh, the setting someone's pants on fire.
Okay,
That's a
perfect.
story. Oh, if the girl that was on the flight next to me sees this, she's gonna know that how close she escaped death, I think.
Very close to an FAA emergency.
Oh, okay, I'll tell the story. I do want to sidebar this that at first I thought that these travel things that would happen with me were just like coincidence. But after this last trip to Kansas City, we went there Wednesday. I honestly think I am more awkward than I really know. But I'm becoming self-aware of it. Like, am I embracing it? I don't know. I think prior, maybe I was trying to hide the awkwardness from everybody. And at this point, I'm embracing it. So I'm realizing all these things. Though I don't know that anybody could miss what I did on that flight. So I had to fly to Kansas City, and I am on a flight, small plane, 2 seats on either side of the row. And there was a girl next to me, and already to start the flight, I mean, we get in the air and I realized like I have to pee. And I look over and she's got her eyes closed. And I'm like, but I knew I couldn't wait. We taxied so long before we took off. So I had to wake her up so that I could get up and go pee. And then obviously I had to wake her up again so I could sit back down.
Mhm.
And so she proceeds to close her eyes, and she has her legs stretched out. And I looked towards the front of the seats, in front of me, and I see there's a charger, which is a big deal, especially when the light's on. You're like, that charger works, and my phone needs a charge. So I get my charger out and I plug it in, and then I'm plugging my phone in. And I'm like, what good is this charger? So I look down at it because I'm thinking like the light was on. And then I realized that I had plugged her pants into the outlet. I had actually her pants, a part of her pants was with my charger in the outlet. Now, I don't think I did not get her pants like inside the electrical socket, but it was in there. So then I went full sweat instantly in that moment. And then I'm like unplugging it. And you'd think after that you would just put your charger away and you'd say, Not charging on this flight. I nearly set her pants on fire. No, I then thought to myself, okay, I need to move her pants a little out of the way of the charger. So then I'm like, without her knowing that I was doing it. Because could you imagine waking up and the stranger next to
Fondling your pants.
tapping your pants, and then that awkward, I'm looking up at her and she's looking down at me and I'm touching her pants. What I would say, like, these are nice pants. Like, I don't know what I would do.
What material is this?
Really nice. So I ended up charging my phone. I should have not done anything looking back on it. I think the fact that the flight was at 5:30 in the morning was not helping my mental capacity,
Yeah.
but that was terrifying when I saw that her pants were in that
Yeah.
charger with my
Yeah, you almost caused a whole thing. You almost caused the 75th news story about a plane accident
I know.
of the year.
I know. Could you imagine?
And then Americans just getting the rap. You're like, everybody's like, see these planes, and it's like you set the fire because you plugged pants in.
I know. No, it had nothing to do with the plane. It was one of the idiots on the plane, which was me.
Oh my gosh, that's two snorts that story's gotten out of me
Oh,
on this call. So,
when I told you that in the hotel room, you laughed pretty hard. But it
yes,
like I did too, because only then did I let myself realize how insane that situation even was when I was telling you.
yeah, it's like a real moment of wow, that was crazy. But I was doing it.
I,
Continue.
I could just was bound and determined to charge that phone. Bound and determined, which then I like how halfway through the day on Wednesday, you're like, you know what? I'm wondering if we need new phones. And I like how you said you're like, we shouldn't need to charge our phones this much, but I really think there's a part of you that's like, this is gonna be on so many flights in July for our tour.
Well, it occurred to me that half of our stories lately have been my phone was dying and I needed to plug it in. It's
Yes.
like that has been the catalyst 95% of the time now, and I'm starting to think, I mean, maybe there's an issue with our battery life.
I think your subconscious is like, I need to keep everybody safe that is in
We're
we're
all, we're gonna be on a lot of the same planes.
I know, like, I am worried about everybody around her. You know what
That
I did on the flight home?
what? This one I haven't
I mean,
heard.
this is a silly thing, but I did it and I'm like, this is just a metaphor for me.
Mhm.
I had that purse. So it
Mhm.
had like the shorter straps and then the longer strap.
It's
And the longer strap,
like a jelly purse. Like
yeah,
like the jelly sandals that we grew up with, just for context for people. It looks like that. It was like
yeah,
a light ring, very cute. She got many compliments on it. But
yeah.
yes, so
It was a
set
cute purse. And I used the longer strap to like keep it hooked to my carry-on. And I put my carry-on up, which every time I struggle with
your
that.
arm gives
One of
out.
my arms, something's wrong with it. So I'm serious. I gotta lift it above my head. Yeah. So I get nervous when I know I have to put that thing up there.
Your arm's gonna give out.
So I got it up there and I was feeling nervous about that. So then I'm like, bumbly. And I went to grab my purse, like I sat it on the open seat.
Huh.
And then I had to like go in the row right there, right? The seat here. And then this is where I sat.
Uh-huh.
And I grabbed my purse and there was a man already sitting in my aisle seat. I was the window. Grab my purse and I start to and my purse is taking the man with me. We're both going to the window seat because the long strap had hooked to the armrest of the row above it. I'm just, he's like, whoa, 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 hold on, hold on. You're hooked. You're hooked on here. I sat down in the seat and I'm like, sadly, that's not even the worst thing I've done in 24 hours on a plane.
Yeah, all these stories are from 24
That
hours.
was 24 hours.
If we expand to 48, we have to include dental surgery, sedation.
That's you, not me. That's not me.
Snapshot of your 48 hours. What does it look like?
Oh my gosh. That was a roller coaster. It was fun seeing Penny in
Oh
Kansas City.
my gosh, it was the best. We did have a great time.
But tell about, we're waiting in the back room with,
We're waiting. And we were running late. I thought we were going to be the ones late because there was a lot of traffic and whatever, but then we got there before Penny because she was like, "I'm late, traffic." So we're like, "Oh wow, well, we're on time, you know." So we were waiting in the back room waiting for her to arrive. And she gets there and we're saying our hellos and it's always lovely as it is with Penny. We have such a good time with her and just really cut up and get along really well. And she had her assistant with her and they're getting ready because they had some special things for the people on tour and whatever. So they're getting ready. And Penny's assistant looks at us and says, "So did you get the questions?"
she said pre-approved
The
question.
pre-approved, did
Or
you get the
like,
pre-approved questions? And my face, I have to try to, but it went
you leaned all the way in. So questions?
questions. We got
Now,
the questions.
backtrack to about an hour and a half prior to that, and we were sitting outside coming up with questions. And we're having a grand old time brainstorming these questions. I mean, laughing so hard. I'm trying to find them. Grand old time, cutting up. These are so hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Here's one. Here's one of the ones that we asked her, just to give you an idea of the questions we came up with before we found out there was pre-approved ones. We said, "You're kidnapped, being held at gunpoint and hooked up to a lie detector. The person holding the gun wants you to choose your favorite Winston brother. If you lie, you die." Intense, we know, but what would Penny Reid do? That's one of them.
She chose to die, by the way, just
She did
jumping
choose to
forward.
die. Yeah,
She
another
chose to
one.
die a lot, actually.
Yeah. What else did we brought up her OnlyFans venture. We asked her if there was a quote from the book that was foreshadowing for her now very successful OnlyFans venture. Penny doesn't have an OnlyFans, guys. That's just something we decided. Let's bring that in. Let's just say that. Yeah, we're like, oh,
And then did you get the pre-approved questions?
yeah. I mean, there
What?
was one that we didn't end up asking her, but it says in it, the sidebar of the question says, "We know you're horny and the dirty stuff is where you thrive," which leads us to another question about your OnlyFans, but we'll get into that later. Give us something wholesome for once, Penny. That was the vibe.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You approved?
Did you get the pre-approved questions? We did not, as it turns out, and we have our own, and we hope that's going to be okay. Because now we're very nervous.
Yeah.
But it went swimmingly, and she does a great job of going with us when we go to the bad place, where we really take things too far. She goes with us.
Yeah.
So it's a fun time. We had a
I
really
think
good,
she has a very similar sense of humor as us. And like our banter is generally one of the things we do is kind of push back and forth on each other. Like you'll say something and then I'll say
How
something
far
a
can we
little
take it?
further. And Penny is like that. So there was a lot of that, which was a lot of fun.
Yes.
And hopefully, she'll come on one of our tour stops in the future.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, we had a good time. So I'm glad we got to go out there and do the event with her and see a lot of her readers who were super fun and enthusiastic about her books.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a good time. But yeah, that's, things to summarize. We had her choosing to die a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, almost set a girl's pants on fire. Um, I mean, yeah, and then the day prior, I had dental stuff done and I was sedated because I have really bad dental anxiety and um it's just a whirlwind, you know?
Whirlwind. Yeah. I mean, I prefer sedation too when I get dental work done because
It's the only way to go for me.
I've had like full sedation. Can you hear Gloria yelling?
No, my son was just roaring like a dinosaur earlier, so like,
I didn't hear him.
maybe I've just got my own.
Yeah. Well, sedation, right? Like I've done that like full anesthesia route with dental work. And then I've done the laughing gas route.
Mhm.
Both are good. The laughing gas. I mean, I was a little worried. I get a little worried about both. It has nothing to do with dying or something. It's like, please don't let me say anything inappropriate.
Oh, I mean, I might have. I
I'm
don't
the
remember.
one like this. I get funny intrusive thoughts when they start to put me under. So I wonder if I've said stuff.
Uh-huh.
The last time I got dental surgery, I remember laying there and they're giving me the sedation, right? So you're slowly going out of it. And in my mind, my brain does this, yell out the word penis. Like, that's the shit my brain does, yell out penis and see what they do. And then I'm like, I'm not doing that. Please don't yell out penis. Don't say, don't. That's the stuff my mind does to me in those moments. It thinks like it'll do that.
Uh-huh.
What if you yelled out the word, dick and balls right now? What would happen? And I'm like, I don't want to know what happens. I'm not doing that.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know what happens. Yeah, I don't know that I have that, but that's because I have so much anxiety that that's all I can think of. I just get an eye twitch. You know how like
Yeah.
stress can make your eye twitch?
Yeah.
Well, my eye was twitching all the way up that whole day. It was twitching. The last time it twitched like that, my last appointment at the dentist.
Oh my gosh.
It like gets me like up. But for me, luckily, the method this time was I had to take a pill an hour prior to my appointment.
Okay.
And
Was it like an
they also
anxiety pill or
yeah
something?
on me.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what it is. I actually didn't even ask. I just took it. It was 3 pills. And they were like, you take these an hour prior. And I was like, okay. And I just did.
You're like, I have no idea what it is.
It'll be what it is. And I well, I mean, they took my medical history, so I was trusting that they knew there
Yeah.
was nothing, crazy. So I got there and I was just starting to really lose full consciousness like when we arrived at the dentist. And so my husband had to help me walk in, but I remember walking in and
That
I
Oh,
and I sat down in the chair, and that's the last thing I remember, sitting down in the chair in the waiting room. And then the next thing I remember is waking up in my husband getting me in the car after. Like I don't remember any of the rest of it.
yeah.
And my mouth was like a little sore and maybe like a touch numb still, but like I was fine. But I was still very,
Yeah. In
I
and
asked
out.
him, I asked him, they said I'm supposed to have a lot of fluids. You think Starbucks counts as fluids? And I made him go through Starbucks on the way home.
Could you even drink it?
Not really.
You're like,
I mean, I got home and I passed out.
I remember, I'm trying to think, there was one time one time I had to, this is years ago, I had to get anesthesia for something. And my mom was the one that was there for me and then bringing me home. And they say it was like an outpatient surgery, but I don't remember what it was for. And they say like you shouldn't be left alone for 24 hours. You shouldn't be allowed to, really do anything. But my mom said I was like so convincing that I was fine. And she took me to Panera because I'm like, I'm hungry. I want something to eat. And she's gonna go in with me. I'm like, no, I'm fine, and I went in and looking back on it, I had no idea what the hell was going on. I don't know what I said. I don't know what I ordered. I was not with it. I was not with it. And I remember having a conversation with my mom about that. Like, I go, you're not really supposed to let anybody do anything for 24 hours, like nothing.
Mhm.
She's like, oh my God, you were so convincing. I'm like, I was high as a kite. And I went to Panera, who even knows what I told those people?
Well, I mean, I guess that's what happens. And I mean, I convinced him. I made him go through it. And I was like, still numb mouth trying to drink it. And then like, I just came home and literally passed out on the couch.
You said you slept for like 18 hours.
I did. I slept.
That's what happens.
Yeah, I was just out next day. Oh, here we are.
It's what happens, man. So like anesthesia, it knocks you out. You're in a fog for like 24 to 48 hours. I kind of wish my dentist was like your dentist with those magic pills they give you where you're all
Yeah, you
all
take
act up
magic
before you
pills.
get there.
And they take about 30 minutes, I'd say, and they tell you to take them an hour before your appointment. So I was fine, but then you can feel yourself starting to kind of lose awareness. Like, I'm not really fully here
Yeah.
anymore, but like I was still a little bit there. And I was like starting to lose. And then by the time we got to the dentist, which is like 30 minutes away from my house,
Yeah.
like I remember getting there. My husband opened the door for me and helped me out of the car because I was just a little unsteady. And he made sure I didn't trip going into the office and stuff. And then set me down in the chair in the waiting room. And that is literally the last thing I remember, which is absolutely insane. But I don't remember anything else. I just know that they also like they take you back and they put the gas on you too. It's like, and I was back there for like 3.5 hours.
You don't remember any of
I
it?
don't remember a thing.
Wait a minute. Did they give you IV sedation too, or just the gas and the pills?
Just the gas and the pills.
What are in those pills? I love how you don't even know what you took.
I have no idea. I didn't even ask. I was like, is it gonna put me out? Then I'm good to
I'm
go.
taking it. I would be asking so many questions because I don't trust myself. I'd be like, what, who knows am I going to be taking my clothes off in the waiting room? And then to put me in that situation where I would be in the waiting room around other people, that would make me nervous.
I think the only thing that helped me with that, about being nervous about that part, is because I had been at the dentist the week before because they make you go for a med consult where they go over all your medical stuff and they give you the pills before your big appointment.
Yeah,
And I had been there, and my husband also had a dental appointment that day. And so I was waiting for him in the waiting room after I was done with mine.
yeah.
And another man and his wife came in, and she had already taken the pills, clearly. And he sat her down in the chair. And so, like, I
You're like,
knew
okay.
that that's like what was going to be going on with me because I could tell, like, she was awake, but she was not, like, really sure, like, conscious of what was going on. But, like, she was walking on her own, and he put her in the chair, and she just sat there. So I was like, okay,
La-di-da.
well, I guess that's what's going to happen with me,
Yeah.
And it was.
Well, that's not bad. My dentist uses IV sedation.
I've had that before too when I got my wisdom teeth out. And I was all for it. I mean, whatever. But I will say, like, that made me sick. I get sick with like
I have
general
that issue.
anesthesia.
And I told them to give me Zofran
Uh-huh.
with
Yeah.
it. That's the
Yeah.
only way.
Yeah. And I do get sick with general anesthesia. I had no feeling of sickness with whatever this
The
was.
magic pills.
Yeah. Whatever it
I've
was,
had the
I don't know.
gas. I've done the gas without anything, just the gas.
Mhm.
And that was great too. I just felt like the most relaxed I've ever felt in my whole life. Like I was just on a cloud. Yeah, I don't know how else to describe it.
I love it. I mean, I'm thinking I I can't go back to no sedation, that's for sure, because I mean,
No,
I have huge anxiety
me too.
about the dentist. I don't know why, but it's like my one thing that I have personally, huge
Me too.
anxiety.
Well, I think it's a common thing, and I don't know why. I think for myself, it's from childhood and the I'm not going to say all dentists were like this. I'm only going to speak for the dentist that I had and his
Dr.
dental.
Blagenstein. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, give
I
his
just thought
name and
you're
phone
gonna
number
name drop. I'm only gonna speak for that
for
bastard.
this bastard. He's retired, but I don't even think it was him. It was more his dental hygienist. And she was just made you feel really bad.
Judgy. But like in that way, yeah. Where
Yeah,
you're
and I
like,
was just a child, and I don't think I had cavities through childhood. I really didn't start getting cavities till after I had my son, and then I had like a few miscarriages where I was pregnant for 3 or 4 months, and
Mhm.
that really it
Well,
did
it does. Well, that's with your teeth.
yeah, it's hard on your teeth. But in childhood, I didn't have cavities, but maybe I had some plaque on my teeth. I don't know. But she was very, for a child, it felt intense. Now, I think I was more of a sensitive child. Like my parents didn't have to like threaten spanking me. They just had to yell at me and that was it. You yell at me once, I cry.
Yeah,
I'm that type of,
right.
sensitive kind of person, but I think that's why. So it's always been just like going to the dentist. And then the Novocaine shots that dentist would do were always really painful.
Mm.
And it's like I'd end up getting overly numb. And that's not a fun experience. So I think it was just like a few things like that for me.
Yeah, I just have always I don't know, it's like I have huge discomfort. Even if something's not hurting me majorly, it's like I'm very uncomfortable the whole time.
Mhm.
Um, which ratchets my anxiety like way up. And
Yeah,
especially now in adulthood, I have a lot of jaw issues. Like I've dislocated my jaw before,
from that.
and so I'm in a panic the whole time with
Like
my
it's
mouth.
a lock or something.
Well, yeah, that it's gonna, a lot of people have the TMJ and the like the clicking and the, whatever. But the one time like I really dislocated my jaw. My husband had to push my jaw back in
Mm.
place, and it was just from yawning. And
Oh.
um so I already was anxious with the dentist, but it's at an 11 now.
I would be too, because it's like if you're already stressed, you can easily carry that in here, and then your mouth is getting moved certain ways while they're doing the work, and you're like, what if
Hmm.
that's just terrifying? You're
Yeah.
better let them drug you.
So I'm like, just drug me every time. I don't want to, I don't even just put me out. And I mean, it was great. Literally one of the best experiences I've had. Maybe some
Oh,
people that would make
yeah,
them
I thought you were gonna say one of the best experiences of my life. I'm like,
no, not quite. Though I will say, I was like, I mean, the sedation was quite nice. I did
yeah,
rest.
yeah,
Um,
it was there was nothing going on up here.
um, But I would say, like, as far as dental stuff goes, I mean, it was a great experience for me in that the ease with which I handled that appointment will make me be more like keep up with my
Yes.
dental stuff better because I'm like, I can do that. Like, I know I have to get, but like, it did not make me like freak out in any way. I was very comfortable to just not remember it. And I'm like, I'll just go with that.
I every time I come here, I just want to know. I'm fine with remembering that I came here, but I don't want to know what happened while I was here.
Exactly. Like it'll just be like a vacation spot because I won't remember the bad parts. I'll just remember the sleep.
Yeah.
So,
I do feel like a lot of dentists are going to that type of model. It's really easy to find a dentist that does the sedation and will try to like, if you need a lot of dental work done, they'll try to do all of it in one session with you sedated. And I do think that's smart because there's a lot of people that have dental anxiety. So,
really, I will say this office too has been really, really great about when I've been awake. Their attitude is very much like understanding completely of every no judgments, no like nitpicking, no, it's all very and
yeah.
it's so it's been good. And
I
I
feel like that is shifted. Like, is it newer generations of dentists? I don't know. Because I
I
don't want to speak for every dentist, right? Because I'm sure
either. Could be that
but
there were great ones and I just wasn't going to them. I don't know.
but that's how my office is too, is they're just reassuring and kind. And if you're there because you're in pain, they just want to help you fix the problem and make you as comfortable as they can.
Mm.
And that makes you feel good. Like that makes you not hesitant to go back if you
Yeah.
experience anything else or just to go for your cleanings. And
Yes.
it's a big difference. A big
Yes.
difference.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. And if the sedation is bad for you, I don't want to know. I don't care. I'm just gonna do it anyway. You know, I don't want to know. It is way better for me than like having
Yeah.
my blood pressure at 200 and you know
Yeah.
I
Uh,
went for my med consult, which is just the appointment before the appointment. They do nothing. They don't even go in your mouth. They just do your medical history, they give you the pills, they take your blood pressure. My blood pressure was like 140 over something, and I run like low. I have low blood pressure, guys. I'm like normally like 105 over
yeah.
it's 140.
You're already
Eye
still
twitching. I'm not even touching my mouth.
like, this is so stressful. This is, yeah. You can't help it.
I can't, yeah. I mean, I tried to talk myself down, but it was whew. So sedate me.
Date me. Yeah, same. Well, on that note, I think we are going to end today's chat.
Perfect.
Yeah. Perfect. So get sedated.
It's
Um,
it.
I
Woo!
highly recommend, and don't try to charge anybody's pants on an airplane.
Don't do it.
And if you want us to be conversation partners and you have pre-approved questions, make sure they get to us because otherwise we free flow.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Mediocre, Like, like just like